So we will call to order the Senior Commission meeting of February 1, 2021. And to, first of all, establish a quorum. Chair O'Reilly here, Vice Chair Nagayo,
Here.
Commissioner Basigi,
Here.
Commissioner Cohen,
Here.
Commissioner Torbeck,
Present.
Commissioner Yu, and Commissioner Buchholz. I understand is absent today. So we do have a quorum. All right. Bridget, could you put the flag up on the screen and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, I can. Bear with me.
There it is. Good job.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag
Flag
of the
of
United
the
States
United States of
of
America,
America and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and
and
justice
justice
for all.
Thank you. So at this point, we have one speaker. Good afternoon, Mayor Flagar.
Good afternoon, Chair and everybody else. Hi.
Pardon me?
She just
I was
responded.
saying a quick good afternoon.
Good afternoon from the commission. We have one speaker for to an item that's not on the agenda. And that would be Barry Hedden, I think personally.
Hello, Kevin.
You may start.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to bring you up to date on a couple of things that Greentown Los Altos is involved with. The one you know about, of course, is the 500 Trees program. And we got 8 trees planted last December, and then the shelter at home in place order came through, and we had to stop planting. And the order was lifted just a couple weeks ago, but right now, while the mutant virus is going around, I'm a little hesitant to get started again. Hopefully by the middle of February, we can start planting. I've got about 40 people lined up who want trees. So
That's great.
And I will be getting my second vaccination on February 12th, so I'll feel a lot more comfortable about being out there. That's one thing. The other is a program, a lecture series that Greentown has. We call it Lunch with Greentown, and we have 10 different speakers. It will be at noon, about 1 hour for 5 weeks, two lectures per week, and on different environmental topics. This is actually offered through the Parks and Rec courses for the winter catalog, and you can sign up by going there. It's called Lunch with Greentown. And I'll just give you some of the names of what the titles of the talks: Electrify Your Home, Good Urban Planning, Why People Drive, Let's Bike. Imagine that. The latest on waste and recycling by Louis Pellegrini, Regenerative Agriculture by the folks at Hidden Villa, Backyard Cover Cropping by 2 UC Master Gardeners, Plant-Based Eating by a couple of our Greentown members, Can Art Change Our Environmental Consciousness by Linda Gass, a well-known local artist, The Circular Economy. Julie Noblet will be talking about water issues and the future of water. And I know we just got a lot of water. I thought we were heading into a drought here, but maybe it's still an issue. And then some environmental issues that will be covered by Laura Texler and a student from the Green Team at the high school. So it'll be a fun 5 weeks, 2 lectures per week. At lunchtime, we figured people could be eating their sandwiches or whatever. And I know you get enough time in front of the computer, but you can sit there and learn a little something while you eat your lunch. So go to the Parks and Rec, or you can go to info@greentownlosaltos.org, and we'll give you some information or the link to get to how to sign up. And that's my report for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will not comment as we can on the subject of what your material there, but I just wanted to thank you and Greentown for all the wonderful things that you people do.
Oh, appreciate that. And I'm going to I apologize. I'm going to be rude and I have to leave because I've got to get ready for another meeting. No.
Very good.
Sorry. Normally I'd love to sit in and hear what you have to say, but not today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
You're most welcome.
So are there any other items that are not on the agenda from the public, comments from the public? You have received no more, Bridget?
Not to my knowledge.
All right, we will move to item for consideration number 1. This is the minutes. Is there anyone who has a public comment prior to the commission taking up the minutes? I take it there's no one has indicated a preference to speak on the minutes, so we will move to the minutes. I trust everyone has a chance to review them. Any comment? Here, Jane Cohen, Commissioner Cohen.
I have 2 comments. One comment is on 2 pages. The first one is on page 1 under public comments regarding Pat Marriott's email. It says in the minutes that the email was on prioritizing agenda items. But when I went back and read it again, I didn't remember it that way. I went back and read it again. Her email said that basically that fall and spring are not dates, and she recommended that we set specific dates in the work plan. So I think we should change that prioritizing agenda items to setting exact dates in the work plan. And that also occurs on page 3, very close to the bottom, under directions on future agenda items. It's the second item down, and it's also about her email, and it also says the same thing, prioritizing agenda items. We should change that to specifying exact dates. That's the way I read the email.
I agree with you. That's exactly how it happened and what was recommended. So.
And I have one other suggestion for a change on page 2 under the needs assessment. The 3rd paragraph down, the last line, where it says does not have the bandwidth to support the program. This program. I'm thinking that bandwidth is a very colloquial expression, and in lieu of saying bandwidth, I would say does not have the staff, common, nor time to support the program.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's all I have.
And I would agree also. Any other comments or corrections or additions? I have just a small one here on the vote on the workshops that we took. We explained. All right, here it is: documents for aging seniors and the planning senior care options. Are those the correct ones? I seem to remember, but then I had some doubts in my mind.
I recall those to be the ones.
Okay, very good. All right, I'll withdraw that then. All right, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as corrected?
I so move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the amendments to the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. All right. The next item is the Senior Commission Work Plan, the 2021 Work Plan. There was a request from staff that the Work Plan Subcommittee meet and propose updates to be considered by the whole commission at the next meeting, which is in March, the 1st of March.
Correct.
The subcommission, we had a subcommittee of Nagao, Commissioners Nagao, Cohen, and O'Reilly, who met sometime, several meetings in the past. Is that I would imagine that's still a standing subcommittee until disbanded. So as you look, as the commissioners look at the work plan, before we reactivate that subcommittee, are there recommendations that you might have that we might consider as we deliberate?
Kevin,
Yes.
so at this time, I'm looking at the goal for the subcommittees that we've got here. And, until things are open up, we're not going to be able to go and research the local cities for what they've got. And we will be limited to the things that we can recommend for our own opening until we actually see what our facility is going to look like. And we'll be able to entertain at the new facility. So I don't know how you can put a date on these at this time.
Well, that's one of the issues that the subcommittee is going to look at. I agree. Specific dates do serve a great purpose, and put the work in perspective and on a timeline. So those are the kinds of issues we need to, or the subcommittee needs to deal with. Perhaps there are some that could be more accurately pinpointed as to completion date, but right now it's a question to be considered. Any other comments? Any other commissioner comments? Oh, yes, Bridget. Matheson.
I just wanted to share on this particular item, the background and discussion that just kind of might help with items that are coming up. Is it okay if I read that, Kevin?
Yes, please do.
Okay,
And then
okay.
when you finish that, why don't we put up the work plan on?
Okay, so annually, the city council hosts a joint meeting with a group of appointed commissioners to be scheduled in separated sessions to review each commission work plan, including accomplishments and recommendations for the next year. The work plan guides the work of the commission for the term year. The scheduled joint meeting is based on the term year of the commission and scheduled reorganization. The senior commission term year is March to March. Reorganization will be held at the regular senior commission meeting on April 5th, 2021, followed by a joint meeting with the council, which is May 4th, 2021. And the reorg, what that is, that's where we will have either 2 returning commissioners or new commissioners, and then there would be a vote on the different the chair, the vice chair. That would take place at the April 5th meeting. And then for the discussion part, it is the regular meeting on January 4th, 2021. The senior commission discussed public correspondence suggesting the commission prioritize and schedule projects that are currently listed on their fiscal year 2021 work plan, while COVID-19 protocols may impact the ability to achieve targeted timelines. It was recommended that the commission further discuss the work plan due to the timing of the joint meeting. Staff is recommending that the work plans subcommittee meet and prepare updates, including in priorities and timelines. And this would be before the March meeting.
Well, it's an adequate timeline, but it also is tight. There's just one meeting before we meet to approve any changes or priorities. Bridget, could you put the
Sure. Let
work
me
plan up on
get that. I wasn't. Okay. bear with
What I'd
me.
like us to do is just look at those without going into extensive discussion of them, but perhaps they would
Okay, bear with me.
suggest comments or bring things to mind again.
And- Okay, and let me just do this.
I have a question. The last sentence that you read,
Commissioner Cohen, yes.
I'm sorry, Kevin. You said, due to the timing of the joint meeting, staff is recommending that the work plan subcommittee meet and propose updates, including priorities and timelines. So the way I'm interpreting that is that we're going to, work the way we have in the past online, and then we're going to present our recommendations to the full senior commission. The subcommittee is going to put the proposal forward to the whole commission. That's going to be way before the joint meeting with the city council happens, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Right.
I also have a clarification question, Kevin, please.
Yeah, Commissioner Basigi?
Yes, I was wondering if you have plans to presentation to the commission, call it extraneous meeting or something like that before the March meeting, or are we just going to basically for the first time in March review the board plan?
I'm having a little trouble picking up your last comment.
Sorry about that. My thought was, since we only have the March meeting coming up next month, there's no in-between meetings between now and then. Is the subcommittee planning to make some kind of a presentation, either via email or extra meeting to the full commission before next meeting?
Well, we are constrained by the Brown Act unless we call a special meeting. But the subcommittee can make the recommendations. Bridget Matheson, you have your hand up.
What I believe the plan was is what we did before. So for example,
Exactly.
after this meeting, the subcommittee would get together, go through the work plan, look at updates. Then when we have the next meeting, which is going to be, I think it's March 1st, or I don't have it in front of me.
First.
Then we'll have the work plan. They'll have the work plan to present to you guys. And
It's
then,
a proposal.
yes, and you'll go through it. And if there's any changes, and then at that point, there's enough time, I think, even, with April's meeting too, before the joint meeting in May.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Commissioner Cohen.
I think that's an important point because we are going to have a reorganization also.
Yeah.
At our April 1st or whatever that date is, and
Correct.
that's also before the joint meeting. So there might be some shifting of people, and that will give us time to even do that.
I think we can. I think the process will work. We'll have to after the recommendations or the proposal from the subcommittee comes, we really ought to hammer that out at that point. And then still we have an April meeting to finalize. So I think it should work.
Okay.
All right. Bridget, if you could put that back on the screen.
Sure.
Just to take a look here. Right. Any comments for the subcommittee before we establish them? We'll have to have a motion to reconform or to reorganize that's not the word, to set them at their task again. Any other comments, or we'll move ahead then? All right, thank you, Bridget. You could take that one down, please. Thank you. So I would make a motion that the work plan subcommittee, Commissioners Nagao, Cohen, and O'Reilly, meet to propose updates, including priorities and timelines for the Senior Commission work plan for fiscal year 2021-22. So to be submitted to the Senior Commission for their approval at the March 21st meeting.
March 1st.
March 1st. Thank you.
Sorry.
All right. Any that seem to do the job? Any suggestions?
I think that sounds good.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Where's my agenda? Here we go.
Evan,
Yes,
so we have,
Commissioner Cohen.
we have a sentence in there at the end about what we're gonna do. I wonder if Bridget or someone could send an email out to us, and let's get two dates, on board so that we, know we can plan ahead. And we can always cancel the second one, but it's just good to have two.
See if we can set a particular Matheson.
Yes, Commissioner Cohen, I was just going to send an email out to the committee about times that we can get together between now and before the March 1st meeting.
Much.
All right, now we'll respond. Thank you, Commissioner Cohen. All right, item number 3, the Grant Park Master Plan Task Force. Are there any requests for public comment on item number 3? Ms. Matheson, is there any request for public comment?
Not that I know of, but I know that our director, Donna Legge, would like to present the report for item 3, the Grant Park Master Plan.
Director Legge, welcome to our
Thank
meeting.
you. Good afternoon, Chair O'Reilly and fellow commissioners. So before you this afternoon is a recommendation to receive a report and recommend 2 senior commissioners to serve on the Grant Park Master Plan Task Force. As presented in the staff report, City Council reviewed this item on December 15th, and they had 2 recommendations. One, the offer of $20,000 from the fund, and also to hire a landscape architect to facilitate a comprehensive public process specific to the master plan for Grant Park. So related to the bocce ball donation, the council directed staff to submit a letter on City Council's behalf stating that to thank you for the gift and that we would like to defer further discussion as to the potential use of that gift until after a Grant Park priorities have been identified through the public process. Related to the Grant Park Master Plan, council recommended to proceed and include CEQA guidelines and other applicable land use processes and regulations. They directed staff to work with representatives from the Parks and Recreation Commission, the Senior Commission, and the Youth Commission, and to bring back to council a scope of work identifying minimum requirements and constraints for the development of a request for proposal for the master plan of Grant Park. So at this time, staff is requesting that you take interest in 2 people that may want to serve on this task force. It is anticipated that there might be 1 or 2 meetings before you prepare a scope of work that will come back to the whole senior commission for comments and recommendations. Then it will go to city council. And just for technical references, so a scope of work basically explains that the activities, deliverables, a timeline to be performed by a contractor. So that's somebody who we hire as a consultant to do what we would like with Grant Park. And then once a scope of work is identified, we will use that in a request for proposal process. So we will invite numerous firms or consultants to basically bid to work with the city and these commissions to come up with a project related to the Grant Park Master Plan process. So I don't know if you have any questions, but I would respectfully request that you select 2 members to serve on this task force. Thank you.
Director Legge, I have a question. What's the timeline generally for this process?
For the whole process or just scope of work?
Go for it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Scope of work for the.
So normally what happens is the staff has a standard scope of work that we utilize when we do a request for proposals, but because of the nature of the scope of work process, the council is asking for the commissioners to work with staff with this, developing a scope of work. So this is not normal, but we anticipate that it'll only take 2 meetings, probably at the end of February and then another meeting at the beginning of March.
All right. Okay.
And if I may, Chair.
Good
Chair Riley, can you hear me?
Kevin,
It's Council Liaison Flagger.
Can you hear me, Chair?
Yes. Mayor Flagger, please speak.
Thank you. I need you to give me permission. So of course I agree. Thanks for that presentation. Parks and Rec Department Director Legge. So everything that Donna said is correct. I just wanted to also mention the fact that we just had our priority set in retreat. And we're still finalizing what our priorities will be for 2021. And of course, this was one of the lists of objectives on that list. And so working with the Parks Commission, the Senior Commission, and all the other commissions to develop the scope, that may still move forward, but I wanted to set realistic expectations about how this project moves forward after that. It will depend on where the Grant Park Master Plan falls on our priority and objective list. And I don't know where it will, but I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that.
Yep.
Thank you, Mayor
Thank-
Flagger.
Thank you. That helps. All right. Well, first of all, we should have representation by 2 of our members on this committee. So I'm looking for hands here. Anybody interested wants to join in this project? 2 meetings?
Can I speak?
Yes.
I'll be happy to join. I'm actually interested, but I think the 2 volunteers should be from the neighborhood that surrounds the Grant Park.
If I could, Chair O'Reilly, make a comment
Yes,
on
yes.
that.
Director Legge, please.
So again, as written in the staff report and presented to council, The Grant Park Master Plan is not specific to seniors. It is a community-wide asset, and so it is not required that it be somebody who lives near Grant Park. I think as a commission, if we happen to have a Los Altos Hills representative, that would be okay, because we have Los Altos Hills seniors and residents that participate at Grant Park.
Okay, what motivated me to bring up that issue is because when the grant donation, the donated grant discussion came about, people from the neighborhood there had issues with the plans, and I think to be sensitive to the issues of the neighborhood, I felt it would be appropriate to have two neighbors to essentially lead this task. However, I'm more than happy to be one of the two volunteers.
Thank you. And
I would be happy to be the other one.
Vice Chair, I got Nagao.
Yes, thank you. I would be happy to be the other one.
wonderful. And
All right,
again, the direction from City Council was two representatives from each commission. And so there'll be plenty of opportunity to integrate the neighbors in some sort of task force or viewing, process.
Okay, thank you.
Well, if Jim, Commissioner Basigi, even with your, I thought that was a very sensitive concept there, but I think if you're still willing to join that committee, I'd love to have you serve on it.
Okay,
I'm
raising my hand.
You're
I'm
in.
raising my hand.
And Commissioner Vice Chair Nagao, you've identified that.
So
Yes.
guys, at this point, so how are we going to get organized? Donna, will you be sending out the invite?
Yeah, it'll either be myself or project manager Dave Breeze.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We have two other we have the Youth Commission this evening, and then we already have our representatives from the Parks and Recreation Commission. So I would imagine we'd get a meeting going in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or ideas, suggestions? All right, well, I would make a motion that Commissioner Basigi and Commissioner Nagao constitute the subcommittee to work with the Parks and Rec Commission and the other members of the other commissions on the Grant Park project. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you for stepping forward and helping this project move forward. All right. Item number 4, informational items. I'll rely on our staff to update us on that, starting with Bridget. Would you wish to go first for Los Altos, or Sarah?
I'm going to have Sarah go just on the order of the report.
Thank you.
Good evening, commissioners. In the report, you will find some of the highlights that I'll be going over. Today, we did host COVID testings. I will just note that our testings have been down. So we were taking walk-ins today. Moving forward, we have a pop-up photo frame. I've talked about this before. This has been transitioned to actually right kind of on the cusp of the city of Los Altos and Los Altos Hills. It's located at Edith Park, which is off of Edith and Fremont. It's kind of a, I guess a little bit, would it be, I guess up Edith from Lincoln Park.
Right.
So, and there you can either use your cell phone or a digital camera and take a photo in a Los Altos Hills frame. It is a fun, safe way for you and your household to capture a moment. Also, there is 6 feet measures on the back of the frame. So if you're perhaps walking with somebody outside of your household, you know where to be safe. So we hope you enjoy that. It's free, it's open to all, and it plans to be there until about the end of April. And we'll switch locations. It was for the holiday season, it was at Town Hall. So at that location, you'll also see the pop-up photo frame link that you can upload your photo to the community album. So we encourage you to do that. Last year, we had a successful inspirational banner project, and those were community designed banners that were submitted to me. And then our Parks and Rec committee reviewed them, had a few changes, and then we printed those. And for 6 months, we rotated all 6 banners throughout the city. And of course, the permitted locations. So we are encouraging any of those graphic designers or people that have ideas to submit submit banners to myself, and you all have my contact information if you should have any questions on that. We're continuing to host twice a year a shred event that is slated for Saturday, March 20th from 8 to 11 a.m. This is limited to Los Altos Hills residents, so we can accommodate the demand. And we are taking social distance measures. Now, 2 of the items that were discussed last meeting, I have updates for you. Essential documents for aging seniors. These are, and then the second one, planning senior care options. We have dates for those. The first one is Wednesday, April 21st, and that's from 11:30 to 1 p.m. This is open to everyone. Again, we're partnering with a law firm. I did confirm that we will be able to record the webinar and then push the webinars out after, either on our social media, put it on our town website. They don't have a problem with us recording it. So I think we're urging, commissioners to help get the word out. I think all 3 agencies, the City of Los Altos Hills, and the firm will all be developing a flyer. And so hopefully you can help, get these the word out. So the next planning care options happening the same time frame, but in July. So July 21st from 11:30 to 1. And again, free, open to all, and we'll do that same recording. Fall prevention is being hosted by Stanford and Santa Clara County Fire Department. That's happening Wednesday, April 28th from 11 to 12:15. And then, which I've continued to mention and just want to highlight, is the tech tutoring, either on Zoom or on the phone, again, open to all. The Dear Senior Pen Pal program and advice forum, again, held by our youth commissioners. And then Pathway Buddy Finder we have, and if you're interested in wanting a walking buddy and can't find somebody to do that, we're taking kind of how often you'd like to walk, what your pace is, if you have a dog, if you mind having a partner that has a dog, and then a location that you'd like to meet at. It's all on the form, and then we'll partner you guys. And of course, social distancing measures are in place. So that concludes my report, and I'll hand it off to Bridget.
Thanks, Sarah. The first item is just regarding the COVID vaccine implementation. So individuals are encouraged to contact their own care providers. The city will not be issuing vaccines, but for more information, please look at the county website with more details. And I know it sounds like there are some commissioners that are already in line to get their shots. So just wanted to share that. And on the report, there's the link to the county website. So I wanted to share that because I know we had a big discussion about that at the last meeting. Then in the beginning of my report, there's similar to last time, there's a COVID resource link that's on the report. Our registration for winter the registration for our winter classes has already started, and the session will be beginning February 22nd to March 29th. And then on the report, you'll see a link to where you can go to check out all the different wonderful classes that we have to sign up for. And also the virtual recreation center link, which you can see different videos. We have a kind of a nice little group of teens that have been interested in doing different videos, how-tos. And so that's where you can look at that. There's also a link to the Adult 50 Plus Spotlight newsletter. And then we've got some very exciting fun events. There's Laughter Yoga Online Workshop, Laugh for Your Health, Laugh for Fun, Tuesday, February 2nd at 11. And if you have more details, definitely call the senior line at 947-2797. There's the Valentine's Scramble Online Social, fun activities and prizes, Thursday, February 11th at 11. And book your virtual reservation now, and using the same line to register. Join us for an online foreign affairs social. That'll be taking place February 12th at 11, and calling the same line. Also, join us on the historical journey through Africa with Mike Bloom. Mike Bloom was covering the early voyages of discovery by the Portuguese and Dutch, followed by the European scramble for Africa. The review begins in South Africa, and then the Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, Leopold's Congo, Mobutu's Congo, the Sudan, Ethiopia, and Egypt. And the dates are Leopold's Congo, February 5th, Mobutu's Congo, February 12th, and then January 12th to February 12th, 5 classes, Fridays at 10. And then, of course, the Adult 50 Plus program of the cable program. And I just want to give a shout out to Cherry and her team. She has an amazing, it's amazing, the cable program she has. It's like, I can't even say, but Cherry, you and your team have done wonderfully. So definitely check that out. And AARP Tax Aid, this program is gearing up for assistance February 2021 through April 2021. But due to coronavirus pandemic, assistance is available remotely. To arrange for tax aid assistance, call the Adult 50 Plus. And then just if, there's a lot of activities happening, definitely please check out our website. You can always reach out to myself or to Cherry. And that's our report for today.
Good job.
Yeah, well, thank you, all three, Bridget and Sarah and Sherry.
Jerry, yeah, absolutely.
I had a question, just generally, how has the phone traffic been? Are people calling and inquiring about how can I get a vaccine? Anything like that? I'm just curious more than anything. If there's panic out there, or people in our senior committee, senior community able to navigate that. It's not real easy.
I can speak generally, just feedback that I've received from the office. I know that people have called and inquired. I don't know for Cherry with the direct line, I think it was just more general. And then we've been referring them to the city COVID page, which has all the general information, because we want to make sure we're giving a clear message of, to check out the website, the county website, and then also take a look at their care providers. And one thing that I'm a Kaiser member, and my parents are definitely of age to get the shot as well. And I guess Kaiser sort of told them, don't call us, we'll call you, in a way, because they're just been overloaded. And I can't speak for other care providers, but we're trying to send that same message to everyone.
Yeah, just a bit of information on that, Kevin Riley. Yesterday, the Supervisor Simitian had a town hall meeting, telephonic town hall meeting regarding this issue. And it all came down to the fact that there is not enough vaccine. And the very best way for seniors to proceed forward is to contact the health providers. Southern Health, Kaiser, Stanford, you name it. They all have direct access to vaccine, whatever little of it is available, but nobody else does.
Well, thank you for your efforts on that. It continues to be an issue and a concern.
Yep.
And thank you for your great work. I'm amazed at the number of offerings that you put out there and the variety of activities. It's been heartwarming to hear. If there are no further comments, we'll move to the final item on our agenda. First of all, I ask, is there any public comment requested on item 5? Potential future agenda items. Bridget?
There's 2 that I'd put on here for potential future agenda items. Proposed work plan update by subcommittee March 1st, 2021. And then the second one for reorganization of the senior commission on April 5th. And that was just that little part in the report explaining what that was.
Absolutely appropriate. Those are coming up, and any others from the floor, from our commissioners? Any suggestions, issues we need to be addressing now? Well, any other additional items for the good of the order?
So I just
Mayor
have one thing
Flager.
to share. I just have one thing to thank you, Chair. A letter from me should be going out in the mail to our senior community. I'm hosting a town hall on February 16th. It's for the entire community, but it will be senior focused. And it's very similar to what you may have heard at Supervisor Simitian's town hall yesterday with Dr. Fencherscheid, which most of it, I think, will be answering questions from our seniors about the vaccine process and figuring out how can the city be a better resource for our seniors. And the main reason why we're doing the town hall is a lot of this information is being distributed online and through social media. And we recognize that a lot of our residents may not have access to the information, at least not the up-to-date information. And so in that letter, you should get the date for the town hall, but we also included phone numbers because we heard from some residents that, they're not able to navigate the different websites and online information. They prefer to pick up the phone and call a number. So in that letter, there's also a number, and it's for city staff, for seniors to be able to ask specific questions so that we can give them guidance on the vaccine process.
And what is the date again, Mayor Flager?
It's February 16th at 4 p.m.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah.
I think we've done it. So
All
Yay.
right,
Good
I have a
job.
motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you very much.
Stay
Thank you so
Nice
much.
job, Chair.
Well, you all take care and stay safe.
Nice job, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You take care. Bye-bye. I have committees.